So Kat, you come from where?
Oh, Lunenburg, Nova Scotia, Canada.
So you've got a history of, obviously a long nautical history in that part of the world.
Oh my God, yeah, it's and it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It goes back to the 1600s. Be a lot of rope makers, but also a lot of smithing going on, and there's still a lot of knotters around.
What do you call them? Knotters?
Knotters.
Truly?
Bunch of naughty people in Lunenburg.
Who were nutty knotters?
There you go. That was dinner. That was lovely.
So here we are in Georgetown, and we've just finished. What have we finished?
Fish cake.
Caught by
Caught.
Zaya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the three.
We didn't
fishing.
film any of it, but that's what's left. So
Obviously,
you get the picture. It was pretty good.
Obviously, we couldn't
Look at
stand the
that
sight of
place,
it, so we had to eat it. So it was brilliant. That was fish 2 of 3, which is caught in the 2-day period.
Unbelievable.
You're gonna have to write a book soon.
We
on how
caught
to do
4,
this.
but we
did.
let the one go.
That's true. We were lucky fishing in the Bahamas.
You're beautifully lit there, Kat, too, with the LED lights.
Is it like a halo?
Yeah, it's kind of like
My angel.
it's like this,
My angel.
you know, it's like a shaft of light.
When I was thinking about this today, when we were going to do the interview attached to James, I really had to do some soul searching. It's like a romantic idea to leave the land and go sail the seas and do all this kind of stuff, right? But what you're leaving behind is big, because everything that you did all of your life to become who you are today is formed by all that stuff that you are actually leaving behind. So you have to redesign yourself to be able to fit onto this plane, right? On the ocean. And one of the things that I was concerned about was, wait a minute, I'm an artist, I'm a jewelry maker, I'm a diner owner, I do all these things, and that's who I am. So who do I become now? This is getting real here. This is not like fluff, right?
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
But,
good.
you know, it's the other side, right? So one of my biggest concerns was, how do I maintain who I am and be on a boat, which is basically my living room size without the walls, right? And there's no running water. You can't put your hands under the water at the same time. You have to pump and then pump.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's so many different things, and the boat never stops moving. So there's all these like little idiosyncrasies about living on a boat that people may not
James,
think
a
about.
foot pump will finish that.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
foot pump. Yeah, so you could put a foot pump in the pump, so you can.
Yeah.
That's
Just to fix it right here.
Yeah, no, that's a good solution because a lot of people forgot that.
But
Not
there's
just
all
that,
these
there's
little
many
things.
others.
Yeah.
But there's things that people don't think of, right?
Yeah.
Like your food choices have to change because now you have to eat dried or canned or, you know, caught or, you know, whatever. So your whole persona
Sure, you give up
totally
a lot,
alters.
right?
Yeah.
But I understand that what you're gaining may not be better, but it's different. You know what I mean? It's more simple. And unless you get on the land, you don't actually get like to walk very far. Everything is short distances. So one of the other things I was concerned about is staying fit, right? Like, so what can you do? I can bring my yoga mat. I can, you know, get on shore and walk the, you know, but as long as you get off the boat once in a while and do that kind of stuff. Right?
Yeah, sure.
And then the other thing too is, like I said, I do acrylic and watercolor and jewelry making. So now I have to redesign that whole thing. Instead of canvases on frames, I can get canvas roll-ups, right? And cut them to size and do all that stuff. So there's going to be a lot of alterations in my life. Yeah. So, but like we did today, we made jewelry. You know, I do jewelry. Like it's all doable as long as I thought I was going to be bored out of my mind, right? So, but when I would disappear downstairs, I wasn't always sleeping. I was processing, right? I just needed to get away from you guys and the boat and just process everything.
Yeah, sure.
So, in the big picture, I think it's very doable, but you can't go in with a romantic idea of boating, you know, and sailing away into the sunset.
It comes at a cost.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
And that's
but,
not often talked about. But in order to, you know, in order to chase your dream, you do have to give up stuff.
You do.
You know, hang on, how can this be a dream if I have to sacrifice, you know?
Exactly.
And that's...
But you also have to redesign your priorities, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, like totally redesign your priorities in life. Like stuff. I know, and then you know what? I hear it all the time, and I know that you're getting rid of stuff. But me being, my zodiac sign is Cancer, I'm all about home. It's all about, everything has an emotional attachment to it. So for me to leave my home, my safe spot, my only spot in life where it's mine, and I feel secure, and stepping onto a raft.
Yeah.
It's
Seriously,
like, with a beautiful, whatever this is called.
Canopy, pod,
Tent.
I know, like
living
that is
space.
huge. I'm vulnerable to the earth. I'm vulnerable to the world. I'm vulnerable to the elements. Like I can't just hide somewhere and feel safe now. Now I have to find a different safety net, right? So this is like huge. It's a huge emotional journey, and I'm willing to make the journey. But I'm fighting it a little bit along the way, trying to find little replacements,
yeah,
right?
Of course. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
I grew up on the water. I grew up with motorboats. I grew up sleeping on the dock because I wanted to be near the water. When my grandpa couldn't find me in the morning, sleeping in my bed, he would walk down to the dock, and there I was sleeping with my pillow and my blanket in the bottom of a little aluminum fishing boat. So I've always wanted to be on the water and live on the water. It's just that I lost sight of it through all those years of raising kids and, you know, business, all that kind of stuff. So this to me is like a dream come true in a way.
From a childhood dream, right?
Exactly, yeah. But I didn't realize the steps that I would need to mature into in order to get to this spot. And James has helped me with his patience and dreams. Like he always throws his dreams out there, and this is what I'm going to do, this is going to happen, blah, blah, blah. And so I kind of got caught up in that for a little while, and then I started to reject it too, right? Because I didn't want to leave the land. I didn't want to leave all my secure situations and friends. I have to leave all my friends behind. So what happens when somebody dies who I'm very close to, but I can't be there? So these are all the emotional journeys in my head right now that I'm trying to deal with. And then there's my kids. What if something happens to my kids?
Major shift.
Huge. So it's pretty big, but you know, being on the boat.
So
this
what do you
week,
want? Can I ask the question? You know, apart from obviously an affection for James, is what you know? What is it within you that makes you want to take this leap?
Well, I've always been a love, peace, and granola bar girl. A little bit hippie, a little bit skippy. But I've traveled all around the world, and like I've taught English in Peru.
Yes.
I've to every state, so many countries I've been to.
Yes.
But it's all on land.
Yeah.
And yet being a zodiac Cancer, I'm all about water. So the missing link was the water. So my thing is, I would love to see all these countries from a different travel perspective, right? So the thing I was talking with James earlier is that sure, it's great to be on a boat, but I don't just want to see what the water looks like in these countries. I want to see what the country is, right? So you just have to remember to get off the boat once in a while and go meet the people, because I'm a people person. And I don't know, it's just it's just traveling on water with the option to step on land. And the other glory of this thing is, which I thought today, is you can choose whether or not you're going to be with other people.
Yeah.
On land, you're just surrounded by people all the time,
Sure.
and sometimes we just get a little bit, we need our space, right? So this is great. You get to have your space and choose. But you also can't escape each other. You're on the same damn raft.
Well,
right?
I guess you can take that to the next level and say, well, hang on, when you're a couple, there's still that, you know,
but you still need
conflict
the individuality. You need your own
Yeah.
space. So as long as each other respects the other person's needs, and I just
Yeah.
need a half an hour by myself
Yeah.
without your face,
Oh,
Night watch.
right? It's like,
Night watch.
Night watch. There you
Oh,
go.
no.
but you know what I
Maybe
mean?
more than that.
Yeah.
You
Your home, my home.
Maybe
You
double
can't
watch.
lose. You can't lose your individuality just because you have no choice except to be with this person on this raft, right?
No,
Yeah.
damn right.
So, but the other thing too, I was concerned about with this whole boat thing is recycling, because I really would like to live in harmony with, you know.
Waste.
No, I want to live in harmony with nature.
Yeah. To reduce the waste. Yeah. How do you reduce the footprint?
So I've been going through Zaya's book on how to live on a boat and all that stuff, and it's like, what do you do? How do you reduce the stuff that you have to recycle, or you know, throwing food overboard? That's totally acceptable. But what do you do with the other stuff, right? And so it's all about buying bulk, taking your containers with you to the store to have them fill them up, you know, all that kind of stuff. So that's one of my major goals will be to how to reduce as much as possible, you know. So
the less you bring on the boat, the less you have to worry about getting rid of. I think that's part of where it starts.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
for
so
sure.
And reduce your waste. Like we've been here, one bag of garbage in a week for the four of us. That's not a bad deal.
Yeah.
That's true, as a matter of fact.
You know,
we haven't done too bad in the waste department. But it still should be separated. It still should be recycled. But
but that's a matter
good luck with that.
That's a matter of function of what's available. What's available with the country you get to. So
it's pretty dire actually. The lack of you know, when we were sitting in Nassau, just as an example, you know, every morning we'd see the cruise ships. And then the tour boats would come and visit them for the day trips to go out to Dolphin Island or wherever. Yeah. And then 30 minutes after the tour boats had, you know, zoomed up the channel, all the polystyrene cups would come floating back past the boat. And you think, oh, come on, like with all the money pouring into Nassau, surely you can just...
Did you pick up some?
Well, no, we were on anchor, honey. I'm not going to go chasing polystyrene cups
you're right. You know, like they've got to have a bigger picture.
To it either,
you know, and there we are talking about, you know, celebrities spending $25,000 a night staying in a room, and you're watching polystyrene cups drifting down every day.
Yeah.
It's just something wrong.
You know, glad you can see all the garbage there, though. It's just atrocious. That's small compared to some beaches in the world. It's just ridiculous.
I think it's for a young one.
Yeah, probably,
So
because there's not much meat in there.
Not much meat in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got plenty of milk, right?
Yeah, we got
Oh my
a lot of
gosh,
milk.
yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. All the electrolytes in coconut milk? Wow. Totally hydrating.
Kat's a nutritionist, so we're learning all about the benefits of coconut milk, coconut oil. I think she's going to build a coconut raft by sailing. Just don't eat your raft. But it's the letting go thing. I think
It's the letting go thing. It's a lot of people. Yeah, they're stuck in a rut, and people go, and those are the people who go, that's crazy or weird, and they go because they can't see.
That's fine.
The big picture.
You need to leave some room in the anchorages.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. You know, but it's Catherine and I mentioned this idea. She's the only person I think who ever just
didn't say you were crazy.
Identified it right away. She said, I see it. And I did. She says, oh my God, that's my dream too. And I go, really? Oh.
It's great when you meet someone equally.
Yeah, so that's why, you know, and that's why, well, in spite of like, you know, and then all of a sudden, I think like she's mentioned, she already had to get some things and sort it out and do that, and I sort of sat back and waited for that and said, no, here's this chance, let's go and look at this and see.
So can I turn this back on Kat now? You've heard James, you've suffered, James and I particularly, talking about this boat for a week, and it's a big step because James has brought you not onto just a sailing boat for the first time in the Bahamas, sailing for the first time. Yeah. I know you've done a lot of boating, but this environment, living on the hook for a week, you know, none of the amenities, you know, it's just a pretty Spartan boat. Can you see yourself on it?
Well, when I first saw a cat in the Halifax Harbour, I was like, look at all that plastic. Because I'm all about wood. I had a wooden boat, right? And it was all about, oh my God, I hate plastic. I don't buy plastic utensils. I don't buy anything plastic. So my whole brain went, I don't think so.
No, you just
no way. I'm not going to contribute to this plastic world, right? And I was a monohull person. That's just who I am. So when I came down here, I was a little bit...
Who you were.
Indeed. But
we haven't had any Melbourne there. We haven't had any rock and roll downwind. No. Come on, you've got to be becoming a cat convert as well.
But, and I really wasn't convinced at all about a cat at all, regardless of the style or the name or whatever.
They're simply not as pretty as monos, let's face it.
No, there's definitely nothing romantic about a catamaran. All the beautiful sailing pictures are of monos, right?
Yeah.
So when I came down here, I was a little bit cold inside because I didn't know what to expect. But the more that we traveled this week on the cat, it was like, okay, I can see for long distance travel and all around the world, all that kind of stuff, the balance of the boat, the setup of the boat, the unique simplicity, right? But you've got everything you need, but it's very simple. It's simply presented and it's simply organized. So, and just the, being able to get into like little shallow areas close to the beach and everything, that was like, whoa, hello.
We've done a bit of that, haven't we?
It's all good, So yes, I've been won over as far as this is what the dream is, to be on the water sailing for great distances. So for this instance, I think it's the best choice ever. And then the thing that won me over completely to the worm thing is that this is wood. It's painted wood, but it's wood.
Yeah, sure.
So I feel better about that. It feels more earthy because it is made out of wood.
Yeah. And
you can do more alterations to whatever you want. So yeah, I see a lot of good qualities about this. And this is after... I wouldn't have got to this choice as quickly as James did, just because I'm a diehard wood person and mono. But but like I said, now being on here, I can see... I can see the benefit of the style of boat plus this layout of the boat is pretty amazing.
You wait till you get to work on one. Then you get to work with wood.
That's right.
Yeah, maintain it. And that's actually another with working with your hands.
Yes,
that's
right.
Although a lot of people talk about wood and all the maintenance and the bugbear, there's actually an upside to that. It's really satisfying, because you have a project and you fix it and you look at it and you go, hey, I did that and it works, and I don't have to do it again for another 5 or 6 years or 10 years or whatever.
Yeah. But I've enjoyed the whole trip. Yeah. But like I said, I came in not with completely open-minded. I had preconceived desires in my head, and not all of those were met just because I was stuck in the monohull, right? But I can definitely see that I've been swayed educatedly over to a cat and over to this particular style.
That's awesome to hear that. Back to crafts, because you and Zaya have been busy while we've been doing the sailing and something right there. Look at that. So you've been creating these little bits of craft work while we've been preoccupied.
Yeah, well, the one thing about doing this is that even though I have a diner and I sell my stuff in my diner, I can now give up the diner but not give up the craft, because I can send my completed works to another business in Lunenburg.
Right.
But even if that wasn't going to be the case, just to maintain a part of that need to create, which is what I do in the diner. I create food, I create jewelry, I create paintings, I create everything. I need to create, right? So this will be a really good outlet. And who knows, you can trade it on the islands, you can do whatever, right?
Yeah. Well, the creative outlet, I think we all crave it.
Yeah. But we don't know how to do it.
Whether we realise it or not, whether we found what our outlet is. Yeah, but that's awesome that you can take your talent and bring it onto a boat. It's transportable. And it's also really linked to the whole lifestyle, like Scrimshaw, right? Like the
it's very
old guys,
nautical.
the cruise on the
Yeah, the
They
whale
used to
boats.
get
Yeah.
whatever material they had whalebone, you know. Well, they used to carve with, I don't know what they used.
Well, they used to use like a sharp the end of their knife to carve like
Yeah.
very ornate pictures and pieces of whalebone and stuff. It is.
So
Yeah.
why is that not possible in this
That's a
situation?
No, it
handcraft,
is. It is.
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
a wonderful thing to buy. Something
Yeah.
that's actually been made by a person you've met.
Well,
Or feel like you know. You know
right.
that's-
Well, look when we went to the island the other day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I wanted something made by somebody
Yes.
on the island.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
And it was a $5 little tiny,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
bracelet. But it was like, I'm so proud of that
Yeah.
because I met the person who made it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
hand done, not some machine in, you know,
Mm.
North America.
Mm.
It was,
Yes.
so,
Yeah. Well, that's brilliant. What a good wrap up.
Mm.
And thank you very much to both of you for
Hey.
what's been a wonderful week.
That's been a great week.
It's been a two-way street this week. We've learned a lot from you, and hopefully well, it sounds like you're going to take away a bit from this experience.
I brought my notebook and my
And we're really excited to hear what happens next in the next chapter
Yeah.
of SVX,
Yeah.
whatever it may be.
but it's been a very emotional week for me. I've kept it away from you guys,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes I go
Yes.
down there and cry.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, yeah, it's like me. I keep it
bigger
away
one.
from everybody. I'm always bawling in my cabin, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Look, now the clouds behind all have a silver lining.
Yeah.
That's too pretty.
And what are these shackles for, dare I ask?
I make bracelets, and I use the
Uh.
shackles as the, and then I do it like
So cute.
port and the starboard.
Yeah.
And just a little knot there.
In case you're lost.
Yeah.
I love that. That knot's beautiful. Look at
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's so sweet.
But
the
yeah,
thing.
the Blue Nose 2 lives there. It was born there and lives there. Yep.
One of the most famous sailing ships of all time.
Yeah, it's on our dime.
And fairly quick too, right?
Yep.
17 knots under sail.
Why is it a World UNESCO
For
site?
the architecture of the city.
Okay.
It's a great little town, actually.
So why am I leaving it?
Because the winters are pretty miserable.
Well, it's good. You guys have got a magic background, coming from the part of the world you do.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's no surprise to find you here in the Bahamas, mind you, at this time of the year.
Yeah, no.
March.
I love sailing. And I love sailing, and I love Nova Scotia, and I love traditional boats. But I'm getting a little tired of winter. This is a much better option.
And so that's the finished product. One keychain. You did that in less than 30 minutes.
Yep.
15 feet of twine.
And it floats.
Handmade. And in Nova Scotia, that would retail for,
I sell them in my diner for $20.
in the Bahamas, a couple of fish.
There you go.
Or a dry coconut.
some
A dried, bloody, I tell you what, 30 minutes for a dry
fish
coconut, that'd be a bargain. If you'd like to see more regular uploads from us, help us replace camera gear, pay for video uploads, then you can become a patron, or you can make a one-time donation to Luckyfish through PayPal. Your generosity is very much appreciated, and you'll find links to those in the description below. Thanks everyone, and cheers!